My 11-year-old daughter hadn't spoken a single word in 3 days, and I was about to find out why. Mia has selective mutism. She doesn't speak when she's afraid. After her father left, she stopped talking for 2 months. So when she went quiet again last Tuesday, I told myself she was just having a rough week. I was wrong. It started with a text from her school counselor. "Can you come in tomorrow? There's something Mia needs you to hear from her." I replied immediately. The counselor said she'd explain in person. That night, I sat beside Mia on her bed and asked if she was okay. She nodded. I asked if anyone had hurt her. She stared at the wall. I asked if it was someone at home. She turned and looked directly at my husband Daniel through the bedroom door. Then she looked away. Daniel and I had been married for 14 months. He was patient with Mia, gentle. He never raised his voice. He coached her soccer team on weekends and always cut her sandwiches into triangles because she told him once that squares tasted wrong. I had no reason to doubt him. None. At school the next morning, the counselor played me a voice recording. It was from Mia's tablet. She'd been secretly recording audio in her room for 3 weeks. The counselor said Mia had handed it to her without a word and pointed at the playback button. I listened. Daniel's voice, calm and quiet, telling Mia that her mutism was a performance, that she chose not to talk to control people, that her real father left because she was exhausting, that I stayed because I had to, that nobody actually liked spending time with her. His voice never once rose above a conversational tone. 14 separate recordings, 3 weeks of it. I drove home in a trance. Daniel was in the kitchen making lunch. He smiled when I walked in. I put my phone on the counter and pressed play without saying a word. His face didn't collapse the way I expected. He listened. Then he exhaled slowly and leaned against the sink. He said Mia misunderstood the context. He said he was trying to help her build resilience. He said a child who refuses to speak needs to be challenged, not protected. His voice stayed level the entire time, which frightened me more than if he'd shouted. I told him to leave. He said the house was in both our names, and he wasn't going anywhere until we'd spoken to a family therapist together. He said I was reacting emotionally instead of thinking clearly. He said Mia had a history of misrepresenting situations. She is 11. She recorded him because she couldn't speak the words out loud. That is not misrepresentation. That is survival. He left that night, but only after I called my brother to come over. He took a bag and said we'd talk when I calmed down. The therapist I took Mia to the following day said what Daniel had done was psychological grooming, textbook isolation language designed to make a child believe she is a burden to everyone who loves her. She said children who are targeted this way often go silent because silence feels like the only safe response. She said Mia had done exactly the right thing by recording it. Here is where I am now. Daniel has sent 11 text messages saying he loves us and made a mistake and wants to fix the family. My mother thinks I should go to counseling with him before making any permanent decisions. She says he was never physically harmful. She says Mia is sensitive and divorce will damage her further. My brother says delete the number and change the locks. Mia spoke for the first time yesterday. One sentence, quietly, while I was making dinner. She said, "I didn't think you'd believe me." I turned off the stove. I sat down on the kitchen floor so we were at the same height. I told her I believed her completely. I told her recording those conversations was one of the bravest things I had ever seen. She hasn't spoken since, but she sat beside me on the couch last night and fell asleep with her head on my shoulder. Daniel's lawyer called this morning. He's contesting the separation and requesting shared custody. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I know what the safe thing is. I'm not sure those are the same.